Okay, so this is going to be for in ADA signage. This is the worksheet that I kind of use for double checking myself how all the words need to be in all caps. The minimum size is 5/8 inches. The maximum size is 2 inches. I've never really needed to use that. Between the numbers and the braille needs to be at least 3/8 of an inch, and then it also needs to be 3/8 of an inch between the bottom of the braille to the edge of the sign or to an edge of a border. So that's what that means. And I'm going to show kind of how I added the braille and some things that might help. But this is my little cheat sheet that I double check every once in a while. And for ADA signs, the backer should be non-glare. And the letters need to be high contrast, so like white on black or a dark color on a light color. So, all right. Okay, so the first thing I do is I scale the, I'm replicating this for a rec. So I typically find whatever the font is. Arial is an approved ADA font. So I'll just place that because then that part's already done. This part gets a little bit weird. Actually, maybe I'll put this in this. This is the website that I use for this. And I might actually add that to our Google Drive stuff, because this should be in there too. So within, I don't have anything in the master flow just yet, but for now, I'm going to put it at the very end, and then we'll find a new home for it. And then we have Braille. So we have the Braille translator. So that way we can just use that moving forward. Okay. So let's open it back up. I usually just type Braille up in here and it just pops up. So we copy this word, paste in the top. Always make sure that it's grade 2, Unicode Braille, and hit translate. And then you're going to copy all this Braille.
I'll tell your fans you're coming. We'll be so excited. It was so fun last week.
I bet.
See you in a little bit, like 10 minutes.
Bye. So we'll copy that and then paste it over here. But see how we don't have the font. So if you find that you don't have the font and this happens to you, make sure that you go to the font folder, which I believe it's in Google Drive as well. Might actually be in the document in the master flow. Let's see. Control F is always to help find stuff, so font. Huh, maybe I don't. Okay. So, but this is how you get to it. It's in our QNAP. Artwork. I have a quick pinned here, so I'm just going to copy and paste this. Again, at the very end, we'll organize this a little bit later, but at least you'll be able to see the path. Alright, so now that we're in here, the name of the font is Swell Braille. And you just double click on it, and then, oh, it's already installed, so yes. But if it wasn't, you would need to install it. Okay, so I'm going to apply it to this one, but now, as you can see, it's rather large, so it's not scaled properly. So for this, I would go to, well, I have it in here, but either way, you can go to the Google Drive. And then it's within departments, 88 Braille samples, this. So right click on that, open with Illustrator. This is a sample that I work from. So that's another one I'm working on. There we go. Alright, so paste that in here. And it should be close to what theirs is. Sample. I mean, the letters are larger, but the Braille placement and spacing should be pretty comparable. So Braille works in like packs of 6, like 6 packs, and I typically scale it to what I have here. So, and then this one I need to be thicker, so you'll notice that this one has a stroke. So once I get the sizing correct, I drop that stroke as well. Sometimes I like to change the color so I can see it easier. I'm gonna bring it up top with, what is that, Control Shift bracket, brings it to the front. So that looks good. But you see how the spacing width-wise isn't correct. So again, this sample has, actually I don't think this one actually says it. But the spacing between them has to be a certain spacing as well. So I'll go ahead and put this one over here. And then we can open up here and then open this up and get the spacing about correct. So the reason that this looks like this here is because it actually says suite, and then that's a different suite number, so that's why they line up so well. So what I think I'm actually going to do is we're going to take this and replace this so that next time we don't even need to do that step. We'll be able to just take this I just did outline, so which is Control Y. Okay, so then I just, oops. I got it pretty close lined up. I'm just gonna lock it and delete the other one. Okay, so now we're gonna save this, save as, and I'm just gonna save over that one so that it stays in there. And that's not a bad point. I should probably have one version that is outlined just in case. So we'll save that again. All right, cool. So back to that. All right, cool. Okay, so this is good. And we can line it up about where this one is. And then we'll just make sure that all of our spacing is okay. So I scaled this. It's tall enough to be, so I'm just going to kind of get it close to in line. Get this one close to in line with the 6s. That looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another layer. And we're going to drop that image there. just so it's still there, but we don't need to see it. So now that we know that we're close, we'll center all these things, which sometimes you have to start here, then center line. And if you don't have artboard selected, it's going to just shift everything together. So if you click this, then hit center, it's going to center on the artboard. One thing that I like a lot is if these are off, you can tell it, if you click this align tool, you could tell it which one you want it to align to. Like we want it to align to the back. So click the key and then tell it that that's the one that you want to align to, and then it'll center to what you have selected. So that's 3 different options for when you go to align to something. So I just like to double check. It's okay if it's more than 3/8, but it can't be any less than 3/8. So you can just type into your height area 3/8. So it looks like this is not ADA compliant, the sign that we're replicating. So what we're going to do is we are going to make it ADA compliant. So there's that. And all I'm doing is adding the space. And then this would be ADA compliant. But because it's so short, I don't think that they're paying attention to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it back. I know it's not ADA compliant, but I will just tell the customer that what she's supplied, she's probably going to want us to move forward with this anyway. But that's how we do Braille. And then I have all these actions over here, but I'm going to walk you through how to create a TroTech file out of this as well. So just so you know. Okay, so this edge piece, which is our brush silver, that would be a cut line. So we're going to make it so that we're in RGB. We're going to make it red. And then it needs to be outlined. And then it needs to be 0.001 stroke. And that is your cut line for the TroTech. Right? So I'm going to outline these 2 fonts. You can leave, I leave the stroke on Braille because that way when whoever's doing the TroTech file, they can increase or decrease the stroke if the beads aren't fitting properly to get the setting right. So I intentionally will not outline the stroke. This is actually going to be ADA, like row mark. So this will also need to be cut. So I'm just going to have that selected and then turn on my eyedropper and then touch it so that that's now also red. So that's ready to go. I'm gonna make this white behind it so you can see it. And then because this will remain black, but not just black, it needs to be the right black. So see how these are, if you switch back and forth modes, so say we had this all set to zeros, right? So this is correct. If we switch it back to CMYK, it makes it wrong. It won't hold the zeros. So see when we come back to it, of course it's making me a liar right now, but just always make sure that you change the mode first before making these adjustments. And it has to be all zeros or else the TroTech won't see it properly. They both need to be. So then because that's black, I think I already did a video on TroTech, so if and I had like the image of everything, and it's over there by the machine as well, a printout of it, of what the stroke thickness needs to be. So black is fill, red is 0.001, and it has to be, oh, see, this is what I mean, how it didn't keep. So 255, 0, 0. And that is our true RGB red. Trying to think if there's anything else that you might need to know. Nope, I think that's it for now. Okay, bye.